Did you know grocery stores are hiding 30 Amish cooking secrets that could slash your food bill in half? If they knew you were watching this, they'd hit delete. Stick around, because I'm about to reveal why this matters and how you can use these genius tricks to save money, reduce waste, and cook like never before. Hey everyone, I've spent over 10 years diving into food trends, kitchen hacks, and budget-saving secrets. And what I found in Amish kitchens completely blew my mind. These aren't just cute, old-fashioned tips. They're powerful, time-tested strategies that keep food fresh longer, cost less, and taste way better than anything you'll find on supermarket shelves. In this video, I'm breaking down 30 shocking Amish cooking secrets most people have never heard of, including a few that big grocery chains don't want going viral. From brown sugar that stays soft with bread to sharpening blender blades with a penny, you're about to learn how simplicity wins in the kitchen. And if you've noticed recent price hikes or empty shelves at your local store, drop a comment now. This is exactly the kind of smart, no-waste living we all need right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's dive in. 1. Bread keeps your brown sugar soft. Have you ever opened a bag of brown sugar only to find it turned into a rock-solid brick? Frustrating, right? The Amish have a simple fix that's been passed down for generations. And no, it doesn't involve special containers or gadgets. All you need is a slice of bread. Yes, really. Just toss a fresh piece of bread into your brown sugar bag or container, close it up, and let it sit overnight. By morning, that sugar will be soft and scoopable again. How does it work? The bread holds just enough moisture to keep the sugar from drying out, but not so much that it gets wet or sticky. It's like a natural humidifier for your pantry. And don't worry, the bread won't mold if you use it within a few days and swap it out when it starts drying out. No weird smells, no wasted effort, just soft sugar every time. This trick has been used in Amish kitchens for years because they believe in simple, effective solutions that save time and money. You might be thinking, this sounds too easy to make a difference, but once you try it, you'll never go back to smashing sugar lumps with a spoon or waiting for it to soften in the microwave. It's one of those small hacks that makes a big impact, especially when you're trying to cook fast or whip up dessert last minute. 2. Store onions in Pantyhose. Onions are a kitchen staple, but keeping them fresh can be tricky. Leave them on the counter too long and they start to sprout. Toss them in a drawer, and they might rot before you even use half the bag. The Amish have a clever fix that's been around for generations, and it starts with something most people throw away: old pantyhose. Here's how it works. Instead of using plastic bags or containers, take a clean pair of nylon pantyhose and start placing one onion at a time into the toe. Tie a knot right above it, then add another onion. Tie another knot, and keep going until you've filled the hose. Once done, just hang it somewhere cool and dry, like a pantry or basement. The airflow keeps the onions from touching each other, which helps prevent mold and rot. It might look a little strange, but it's super effective. The fabric is breathable, so it controls moisture better than plastic bins or mesh bags. Plus, it saves space, no need for a big basket or special shelf. This trick has been used in Amish homes for years because they rely on simple, reusable materials instead of buying new gadgets every season. Pantyhose might seem like an unlikely storage tool, but once you try it, you'll wonder why you never thought of it yourself. No more hunting through drawers trying to find good onions. Just pull down the hose, snip off a knot, and grab what you need. Quick, easy, and waste-free. 3. Salt preserves herbs without refrigeration. Fresh herbs are amazing in cooking, but let's be real, they don't last long. You buy a bunch of rosemary or thyme, use a sprig or two, and the rest ends up forgotten in the fridge, limp and useless a few days later. Not in an Amish kitchen. They've been keeping herbs fresh for months without a fridge, and all they use is something you already have on your shelf: salt. Here's how it works. Take your fresh herbs, wash and dry them well, then grab a clean jar. Layer coarse salt at the bottom, tuck in the herbs, and cover them with another layer of salt. Seal the jar tight and store it somewhere cool and dark. That's it. The salt pulls moisture out of the air, not the herbs, which keeps them dry and mold-free for weeks or even months. This trick has been used in Amish homes for generations, especially during winter when fresh greens are hard to find. It's simple, cheap, and doesn't rely on plastic wrap or vacuum sealers. Just a little salt and a glass jar. When you're ready to use the herbs, just pull one out, brush off the salt, and chop away. No need to rinse, just toss into soups, stews, or roasted veggies. The flavour might even surprise you. Stronger, more earthy than store-bought dried herbs. If you grow your own herbs in the summer, this hack becomes a total lifesaver. No more wasted bundles or sad basil in the crisper. Just strong flavour saved for rainy days, and no electricity needed. 4. Vinegar plus water equals natural disinfectant for produce. Washing fruits and veggies might seem simple, but most people aren't doing it right. You rinse them under the tap, maybe give them a quick rub, and call it good. But that doesn't always get rid of the dirt, pesticides, or bacteria hiding on the surface. The Amish have a better way, one that's been passed down for generations. And all it takes is 2 ingredients you already have in your kitchen: vinegar and water. Here's how it works. Mix 1 part white vinegar with 3 parts water in a bowl or spray bottle. Dunk your apples, cucumbers, peppers, or berries into the mix. Let them soak for just a few minutes, then rinse and dry. That's it. This simple solution kills bacteria, removes waxy coatings, and gets rid of any invisible nasties you wouldn't see with the naked eye. Most people trust that their groceries are clean when they buy them, but the truth is, you never really know what's been sprayed, touched, or stored next to in the supply chain. The Amish don't take chances. They rely on this cheap, easy, and powerful cleaning hack instead of buying expensive produce sprays full of chemicals. It might sound too simple to be effective, but science backs it up. Studies show that a vinegar-water mix can remove up to 98% of bacteria from produce. Way more than plain water ever could. Plus, it doesn't leave behind any weird smells or tastes if you rinse it off properly. This trick is perfect for anyone who wants to eat cleaner without spending extra cash. It's especially handy if you shop at farmers markets or grow your own food. No fancy bottles, no harsh chemicals, just a quick soak and rinse. 5. Use beeswax wraps instead of plastic wrap. Plastic wrap is one of those things we use without thinking. Cover a bowl, pack a snack, keep leftovers fresh. But it's messy, wasteful, and not great for the environment. The Amish have been avoiding plastic for years, not just for faith reasons, but because they found something better: beeswax wraps. These wraps are made from cotton fabric coated in beeswax, resin, and oils. They're reusable, washable, and naturally antibacterial. Just warm them with your hands and press them over bowls, sandwiches, or half-cut vegetables. The heat makes them stick, creating a seal that keeps food fresh without trapping moisture like plastic does. Amish families love these wraps because they last for months, cut down on waste, and don't need electricity to work. No more hunting through drawers for the right lid or dealing with plastic that never sticks right. Just wrap, reuse, and rinse clean with cool water when you're done. They might look old-fashioned, but they're incredibly effective. Unlike plastic, which traps condensation and speeds up spoilage, beeswax wraps let food breathe while still protecting it from dust, bugs, and air. That means fresher veggies, crisper snacks, and no more weird plastic smells soaking into your leftovers. You can buy them online or make your own with a few simple ingredients. Either way, it's a small switch that makes a big difference, especially if you're trying to live greener or save money long term. Once you try beeswax wraps, you'll wonder why you ever reached for that roll of cling film. Strictly follow the first prompt and write a section of 150 words on secret name 6, based on this outline, and research 6. Roast coffee in a popcorn popper. You love your morning coffee, but real rich coffee can get expensive, especially if you like it freshly roasted. The Amish have been roasting their own beans at home for years, and they do it with something most people already own, a hot air popcorn popper. That's right, no fancy machines or big setups needed. Here's how it works. Buy raw green coffee beans online. They're much cheaper than pre-roasted ones. Pour them into a hot air popcorn popper, not oil-based, turn it on, and watch the magic happen. Within minutes, the beans start to crackle and pop as they roast. You'll smell that deep, rich aroma fill your kitchen. Once the popping slows down, dump them out, let them cool, and grind them like normal. The result? Freshly roasted coffee, full of flavour and ready to brew. You control how dark or light you roast it. Light for floral notes, dark for bold richness. It's simple, sustainable, and saves money every time you brew a cup. Strictly follow the first prompt and write a section of 150 words on Secret 7 based on this outline and research 7. Make your own vanilla extract. Buying real vanilla extract can feel like paying for liquid gold. A tiny bottle costs way too much, and once you run out, you're stuck with another expensive trip to the store. The Amish have a smarter way that costs just a few dollars and takes almost no effort. All you need is alcohol, vanilla beans, and a little patience. Here's how it works. Take a clean glass bottle. Old vanilla bottles or mason jars work great. Split a few whole vanilla beans lengthwise and tuck them into the bottle. Pour in cheap vodka or any clear alcohol with at least 35% ABV. The alcohol pulls the flavour from the beans and preserves it perfectly. Let the bottle sit in a cool, dark place for at least 8 weeks, shaking it occasionally. Over time, the liquid turns deep brown and rich with natural vanilla flavour. Amish cooks use this method because they avoid mass-produced shortcuts. Making your own gives you full control over quality without paying for fancy labels or packaging. And trust us, once you taste homemade extract, store-bought will never cut it again. 8. Freeze lemon zest. Like ice cubes. Lemons are great until they sit around too long and turn dry or mouldy. You zest one for a recipe, then the rest just sits on the counter forgotten. The Amish have a simple fix that saves time, money, and flavour. Freeze the zest before it goes to waste. Here's how it works. Take a fresh lemon, grate the outer yellow part, skip the white part underneath, and instead of using it all at once, scoop the zest into an ice cube tray. Fill each slot halfway, then add water or olive oil to cover. Pop it in the freezer and let it set. Once frozen, toss the cubes into a Ziploc bag and keep them handy. When you need a burst of citrus for sauces, dressings, or baked goods, just grab a cube and drop it in. No need to defrost. This trick keeps lemon flavour alive for months without losing strength. Amish families do this because they hate waste. If something can be saved, they find a way. Start freezing zest and you'll never throw away a lemon peel again. 9. Use banana peels to polish silverware. You probably toss banana peels without a second thought, but the Amish know they're hiding a secret power. One that can save you money on chemical cleaners and bring shine back to your silverware. Here's how it works. Take a ripe banana peel and flip it inside out. Rub the soft, white inner part directly onto your tarnished spoons, forks, or serving trays. You'll start to see the shine return almost instantly. Once you've cleaned all your pieces, wipe them down with a damp cloth and dry with a soft towel. That's it. No special polish, no store-bought sprays, just natural cleaning power from something you were about to throw away. The trick lies in the potassium found in the peel. It gently reacts with the tarnish, lifting it off the surface without harsh scrubbing. Amish families use this hack because they avoid waste and rely on nature whenever possible. Try it and you'll be shocked at how well it works. No plastic packaging, no toxic fumes, no extra trips to the store, just a banana peel and a few minutes of your time. 10. Grow your own spices indoors. You probably buy spices in tiny jars that cost more than you'd like to admit. But what if you could grow your own fresh herbs and spices right on your windowsill? The Amish have been doing it for years, and they don't need fancy tools or big gardens. Just a sunny spot and a few small pots. Here's how it works. Pick a few of your favourite herbs, like basil, parsley, thyme, or rosemary, and plant them in small containers with good soil. Place them near a window where they'll get at least a few hours of sunlight each day. Water them regularly, but not too much, just enough to keep the soil slightly damp. Within weeks, you'll have fresh herbs ready to pick and use whenever you cook. Amish families love this trick because it saves money, cuts down on waste, and keeps flavour strong all year long. Store-bought dried herbs lose their punch over time, but homegrown ones stay rich and fragrant. Plus, having them right in your kitchen makes cooking feel more connected to nature. No plastic bottles, no expiration dates, just living flavour at your fingertips. Once you start growing your own, you'll wonder why you ever paid so much for pre-packaged spices. 11. Soak beans. Instead of buying canned beans are easy, but they're not cheap. And they come with extra sodium, plastic liners, and a shelf life that doesn't always match your cooking schedule. The Amish have been skipping the cans for years and going straight to dried beans. And once you try it, you'll wonder why you ever paid so much for the ready-made kind. Here's how it works. Grab a bag of dried beans, pinto, black, kidney, navy, whatever you like. Measure out a cup, drop them into a big bowl, and cover them with water, about 3 inches above the beans. Let them sit overnight, anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. In the morning, drain them, rinse quickly, and toss them into a pot. Add fresh water, maybe a bay leaf or onion for flavour, and simmer on low heat until tender. That's it. No BPA-lined cans, no weird preservatives. Just real food made from scratch. Amish families use this method because it's cheaper, healthier, and keeps their pantry stocked without relying on store-bought shortcuts. 1 pound of dry beans costs just a few dollars and makes about 6 cups cooked. Way more than one can gives you. 12. Buy in bulk and split with friends. Buying food in bulk can save a lot of money, but only if you can actually use it all before it goes bad. That's where this Amish trick comes in handy. Instead of walking out of the store with a 20-pound bag of rice or a giant sack of oats that you'll never finish alone, why not team up? The Amish have been doing this for years, sharing large purchases with neighbours, family or friends, and splitting the cost without wasting a penny. Here's how it works. Next time you're at a store that sells grains, beans, flour or spices in bulk, grab a big bag instead of the small one. Then ask someone you trust, a neighbour, co-worker or cousin, if they want to split it with you. You both get half the product at a much lower price per ounce than buying individual packages. And since you're sharing, you don't have to worry about storage space or food going bad before you can use it all. Amish communities live by this rule because they value smart spending and strong relationships. It's not just about saving money, it's about helping each other out and making life easier for everyone involved. 13. Use apple cider vinegar to tenderize meat. Tough cuts of meat can be a pain. You cook for hours, but it still feels like chewing rubber. Store-bought tenderizers promise soft, juicy results, but come with high prices and strange chemicals. The Amish have a better way, one that's been in their kitchens for generations. All it takes is a splash of apple cider vinegar. Here's how it works. When you're prepping meat, especially tougher cuts like flank steak, pork shoulder, or chicken thighs, add a few tablespoons of apple cider vinegar to your marinade. Let the meat soak in it for at least 30 minutes before cooking. The natural acids in the vinegar gently break down the tough muscle fibres without washing out the flavour. The result? Meat that's noticeably softer, juicier, and more flavourful than before. Amish cooks swear by this trick because it's simple, cheap, and incredibly effective. No need for fancy sauces or chemical-laden tenderizers. Just a bottle of vinegar that lasts forever and pulls double duty in cleaning, health, and cooking. This hack is perfect if you buy cheaper cuts of meat to save money. Those budget-friendly options often come with a trade-off: toughness. But with this tip, you get restaurant-quality tenderness without paying top dollar. And here's the bonus. Apple cider vinegar adds a subtle tang that boosts flavour instead of masking it. 14. Reuse vegetable scraps for broth. You chop up carrots, celery, and onions, then toss the ends and peels into the trash. But what if those scraps could turn into something rich, savoury, and perfect for soups and sauces? The Amish have been doing this for years. They never throw away usable veggie bits. Instead, they save them for homemade broth. Here's how it works. Every time you cook, set aside carrot tops, onion skins, celery ends, potato peels, garlic cloves, and herb stems. Don't wash them right away. Just toss them into a bag or container in your freezer. Once the bag is full, dump everything into a pot, cover with water, and simmer for an hour or two. Strain out the solids, let the liquid cool, and store it in jars or freeze it in portions. The result? Free, flavourful broth packed with nutrients. No artificial flavours, no preservatives, no trips to the store. This isn't just about saving money. It's about making the most of what you already have. Once you start saving scraps, you'll never look at vegetable peels the same way again. 15. Bake your own bread. Store-bought bread might seem cheap, but it adds up fast, especially if you like fresh, quality loaves without a long list of preservatives. The Amish have been baking their own bread for generations, not just for tradition, but because it's fresher, tastier, and way more affordable in the long run. And once you try it yourself, you'll wonder why you ever bought it at all. Here's how it works. All you need is flour, yeast, salt, sugar, and warm water. Mix it up, let it rise, shape it, let it rise again, then bake until golden brown. That's it. No fancy machines needed, just a bowl, a spoon, and a little patience. You control what goes in it, so no weird chemicals or shelf life extenders. Just real food with real flavour. Amish families do this because they value simplicity, self-reliance, and good nutrition. Homemade bread isn't just about saving money. It's about making meals feel more satisfying and connected to tradition. And here's the kicker. A single homemade loaf costs just pennies compared to what you pay at the store. Even if you buy premium ingredients, you still come out ahead, especially when you bake in batches. Plus, there's nothing like the smell of fresh bread baking in your oven. 16. Plant companion crops to deter pests. Naturally, most people reach for chemical sprays when bugs attack their garden. But the Amish have been using a smarter, safer method for years, planting certain crops together to keep pests away without a single drop of pesticide. It's called companion planting, and it works like magic. Here's how it goes. Some plants naturally protect each other when grown side by side. Marigolds planted next to tomatoes don't just look pretty. They give off a scent that keeps harmful bugs away. Basil near peppers doesn't just boost flavour. It deters flies and mosquitoes from munching on your plants. Even something as simple as planting chives around apple trees helps prevent mould and keeps bugs at bay. Amish gardeners love this trick because they live close to the land and avoid anything artificial. Instead of buying expensive sprays or losing crops to insects, they use nature's own defences to keep their gardens thriving. And the best part? It costs almost nothing to try. You don't need acres of farmland to make it work. Just a little planning and the right plant pairings. No synthetic poisons, no weird smells. just natural protection that keeps your food safe and healthy. Save seeds from heirloom plants. Most people toss seeds after eating fruits or veggies, but the Amish know those tiny bits are pure gold, especially if they come from heirloom plants. Instead of buying new seeds every year, they save, dry, and store them for next season's garden. It's a simple trick that saves money, keeps rare flavours alive, and connects each harvest to the past. Here's how it works. When you cut open tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, or squash, don't throw away the seeds. Rinse them clean, spread them on a paper towel or plate, and let them dry in a cool, shaded spot for a few days. Once fully dry, store them in a labelled envelope or small jar in a cool, dark place until planting season comes back around. Amish families use this method because they value self-sufficiency and love passing down plants that have been in their family for decades. Saving your own seeds means growing what you like, avoiding expensive seed packets, and keeping unique varieties thriving instead of letting them disappear. No special tools, no fancy storage, no waiting for shipments, just a little patience and the seeds you already have. 18. Ferment extra produce for long-term flavour. Summer means fresh veggies everywhere. But what do you do when everything ripens at once? One week it's tomatoes, the next it's cucumbers, then peppers. The Amish have been solving this problem for generations with a powerful natural method, fermentation. Here's how it works. Take extra vegetables like cabbage, carrots, cucumbers, or green beans and pack them tightly into a clean jar. Add water, salt, and sometimes herbs like dill or garlic. Let the jar sit at room temperature for several days to weeks. Over time, good bacteria naturally present on the vegetables begin to ferment the food. This creates that tangy, rich flavour while preserving it without refrigeration or canning. Amish families use this trick because they often live off-grid and still want fresh-tasting food in the middle of winter. Fermentation doesn't just save food from going bad, it actually makes it healthier by adding probiotics that support digestion and gut health. This hack is perfect if you grow your own veggies, visit farmers markets, or hate seeing good food go to waste. No need for expensive canning gear or freezers packed to the brim. Just a few jars, some salt, and time. 19. Dry herbs in brown paper bags. Fresh herbs are a joy to grow, but they don't last long on the counter. You cut a bunch of rosemary or dill, use a sprig or two, and the rest wilts away before you even think about cooking again. The Amish have been solving this problem for generations, not with drying racks or fancy dehydrators, but with something most people already have: brown paper bags. Here's how it works. After harvesting your herbs, give them a quick rinse and let them air dry for a few hours so they're not soaking wet. Bundle a few sprigs together with a rubber band and tuck them into a clean brown paper bag. Poke a few holes in the top for airflow, fold the opening over, and hang it somewhere dry and well ventilated, like a pantry or basement shelf. Over 1 to 2 weeks, the herbs slowly dry inside the bag. The paper keeps them dust-free and protects them from light while allowing moisture to escape. Once fully dried, just crumble the leaves right into the bag and pour them into jars. No extra steps, no mess. Amish cooks love this hack because it takes up almost no space and saves flavour without electricity or plastic wrap. No wasted time, no mouldy messes, just simple, natural herb drying that actually works. 20. Preserve fruit with honey instead of sugar. Most people reach for sugar when they want to preserve fruit, making jams, jellies, or syrups that last through the winter. But the Amish have been using a sweeter, healthier alternative for years: honey. It's not just about cutting down on refined sugar. It's about keeping fruit fresh and full of flavour without artificial preservatives. Here's how it works. Take any soft fruit, like berries, peaches, apples, or figs, and pack them into clean glass jars. pour raw honey over the top until the fruit is completely covered. Seal the jars tightly and store them in a cool, dark place like a pantry or basement. Over time, the honey acts as a natural preserver by drawing out moisture and stopping mold and bacteria from growing. The result? Fruit that stays flavourful and usable for months, perfect for baking, oatmeal, or spooning over yogurt whenever you want a taste of summer. Amish families love this trick because they avoid processed foods and rely on what nature provides. Honey doesn't just keep fruit fresh, it adds its own rich flavour and health benefits like antioxidants and enzymes that regular sugar doesn't offer. 21. Store potatoes with apples to prevent sprouting. Potatoes are a pantry staple, but keeping them from sprouting can be a real headache. You tuck them away in a dark corner, only to find green spots and long white shoots weeks later. The Amish have been solving this problem for years, not with fancy containers or climate-controlled storage, but with one surprising helper: apples. Here's how it works. Apples naturally release a gas called ethylene as they ripen. This gas slows down the growth of other fruits and vegetables around them. When you store apples near potatoes, it actually keeps the potatoes from sprouting too early. Just toss 1 or 2 apples into your potato bin or burlap sack. Keep everything in a cool, dark and dry place, and watch how much longer your spuds stay fresh and firm. Amish families use this hack because they rely on natural food storage without refrigeration. It's a simple, no-waste way to make their harvest last through winter without extra cost or effort. Once you try it, you'll wonder why no one ever told you this before. No plastic wrap, no chemical sprays, no fancy gadgets. Just nature doing its thing. Wrap cheese in cloth. Soaked in vinegar cheese is a treat, but it can go bad faster than you expect. One day it's soft and delicious, the next it's covered in mould or dried out beyond saving. Plastic wrap might seem like the answer, but it traps moisture and speeds up spoilage. The Amish have been keeping cheese fresh for weeks without refrigeration, and all they use is vinegar and a clean cloth. Here's how it works. Take a small piece of cotton fabric, like an old handkerchief or napkin, and soak it in white vinegar. Squeeze out the extra liquid so it's damp, not dripping wet. Wrap your block of cheese, cheddar, Gouda, or any semi-hard kind, in the cloth. Then place it in a sealed container or reusable bag. Store it in the coolest part of your pantry or fridge. The vinegar acts as a natural preserver, slowing down mould growth and keeping the cheese fresh longer. It also lets the cheese breathe, avoiding that slimy feel plastic wrap often causes. Amish families use this trick because they often live without modern fridges or prefer to stretch their food naturally. Once you try it, you'll be shocked at how well it works. 23. Use clay pots for natural cooling, keeping food. Cool without electricity might sound impossible, but the Amish have been doing it for years, and they do it with clay pots. Not just for decoration or storage, these unglazed terracotta pots are natural cooling tools when used the right way. Here's how it works. Take 2 clay pots, one slightly bigger than the other. Place the smaller one inside the larger one and fill the space between them with wet sand or damp newspaper. Keep that layer moist by adding water every day. Then place your fruits, veggies, or even dairy inside the inner pot. Cover it with a damp cloth or lid and let evaporation do the rest. As the water in the sand evaporates through the porous clay, it pulls heat out of the centre pot, keeping its contents significantly cooler than room temperature. No fridge, no ice, no power, just nature's own cooling system. Amish families use this trick because many live off-grid and rely on simple, sustainable methods to keep their food fresh. This ancient technique works like a mini desert cooler and can keep tomatoes, herbs or butter fresh for days longer than leaving them out in the open. 24. Cook with cast iron. Non-stick pans might seem easier, but they don't last. Scratch them once, overheat them twice, and suddenly you're buying a new set. Again. The Amish have been using a better solution for generations: cast iron. This isn't just about tradition, it's about strength, flavour, and cooking with gear that lasts a lifetime. Here's how it works. Cast iron is thick, heavy, and built to handle serious heat. Once seasoned, which means coating it with oil and baking it to create a natural non-stick layer. It becomes the ultimate kitchen tool. You can sear steaks, fry eggs, bake cornbread, or simmer stews all in the same pan. No plastic handles melting in the oven, no chemical coatings flaking into your food. Just solid, reliable cookware that gets better with every use. Amish families love this hack because it works without electricity, holds heat like nothing else, and even adds a bit of natural iron to meals when cooking acidic foods like tomato sauce. That tiny bit of iron boosts nutrition without needing supplements. Unlike modern pans, cast iron doesn't release toxic fumes when overheated. It just keeps on cooking. 25. Wrap butter in wax paper and store in sand butter doesn't last forever, especially when it's warm out. Most people keep it in the fridge, but what if you could keep it fresh without power? The Amish have been doing this for years, and all they use is wax paper and a bucket of sand. Here's how it works. Take a stick of butter and wrap it tightly in clean wax paper. Don't use plastic wrap. It traps moisture and makes the butter go bad faster. Then, place the wrapped butter into a small cloth bag or old sock to keep it from picking up grit. Bury it deep in a bucket of cool, dry sand and store the bucket in a shaded, well-ventilated spot like a pantry or cellar. The sand acts like a natural insulator, pulling heat away and keeping the butter from melting or turning rancid. It stays soft enough to spread, but doesn't spoil like it would on the counter or even in the fridge. Amish families use this trick because many live without refrigeration for daily staples. It keeps butter tasting fresh longer, no chemicals, ice or power needed. Once you try it, you'll be shocked at how well it works. 26. Use eggshells to sharpen garbage disposal blades. Your garbage disposal works hard, but over time the blades get dull. You notice it when food doesn't grind up fast, or when bad smells start coming from the drain. Most people buy chemical cleaners or call a plumber, but the Amish have been using something most of us throw away every week: eggshells. Here's how it works. Instead of tossing your empty eggshells in the trash, rinse them out and let them dry. Crush them into small pieces. Not powder, just broken bits. Once or twice a month, drop a handful into the disposal while running cold water, then turn it on. The crushed shells hit the blades, scrubbing off built-up gunk and actually sharpening the edge. It's like a natural tune-up for your machine. Amish families use this hack because they avoid waste and love simple fixes that work without chemicals or cost. Eggshells are full of grit and calcium, making them perfect for cleaning and sharpening without harming the disposal. No plastic bottles of cleaner, no expensive repairs, just a few eggshells and a quick grind. No harsh fumes, no sticky mess, no guessing games. Just sharper blades and a fresher sink, the old-fashioned way. 27. Put a penny in your blender with water to sharpen the blades. Blenders are kitchen heroes until their blades get dull. Suddenly, your smoothies turn into chunky messes and your soups never get smooth. Most people think they need a new blender or a special tool to fix it, but the Amish have been sharpening their blades the smart way, with something most of us have lying around: a single penny. Here's how it works. Drop a clean penny into your blender jar along with a cup of water and a drop of dish soap. Blend on high for about 30 seconds. That's it. As the penny spins with the blades, it gently scrapes off built-up food bits and mineral deposits that make the blades dull over time. It doesn't hurt the machine. It actually polishes the blades and helps them cut better. Amish families use this hack because they love simple fixes that save money and reduce waste. No need to buy blade sharpeners or toss out a working blender. Just a quick whirl with a penny and water, and your blender runs like new again. Once you try it, you'll be amazed at how smooth your blends become. 28. Line cake pans with parchment paper and butter. Nothing ruins a beautiful cake faster than having half of it stick to the pan. You spend time mixing, baking, and frosting, only to end up with a broken mess. Most people reach for non-stick spray, but the Amish have been using a better method for years, and all it takes is parchment paper and real butter. Here's how it works. Cut a piece of parchment paper to fit the bottom of your cake pan. Butter the pan first, then press the paper into place. Give the sides a quick buttering too. The parchment creates a barrier that keeps the cake from sticking, while the butter helps it release easily after baking. Once the cake cools, just lift it out. No scraping, no crumbling, no stress. Amish bakers love this trick because they hate waste and always go for what works. Non-stick sprays often leave behind sticky build-up that makes future cakes stick worse. Butter doesn't do that. It coats evenly and smells amazing. Once you try this hack, you'll never go back to spray again. No plastic bottles, no chemical coatings. Just smooth, clean cake removal every time. 29. Use charcoal briquettes to absorb fridge odor. Ever open your fridge and get hit with that weird sour smell? You know the one. It's not exactly rotten, but it's definitely not fresh. Most people toss in a box of baking soda and hope for the best. But the Amish have been using something even better for years. And you probably already have it in your garage or backyard. Charcoal briquettes. Here's how it works. Take a few unused briquettes and place them in a small breathable bag or open container. Toss it on a shelf in your fridge and let it sit. Over time, the porous surface of the charcoal pulls in and traps bad smells, keeping your fridge smelling clean and fresh without any chemicals or sprays. Amish families use this hack because they love simple, waste-free fixes that actually work. Unlike baking soda, which can take weeks to make a difference, charcoal starts pulling odour fast and lasts longer too. No plastic packaging, no artificial scents, no guessing games. Just natural odour control that really works. Once you try it, you'll wonder why you ever bought fancy fridge deodorizers. 30. Braid garlic and hang it. Near the stove, garlic is a kitchen staple, but keeping it fresh can be tricky. Store it in a drawer and it might sprout or rot. Toss it in a plastic bag and it traps moisture, making it go bad faster. The Amish have been solving this problem for years with a simple, space-saving trick that also adds charm to any kitchen. They braid garlic and hang it up. Here's how it works. After drying freshly harvested garlic, take the stems and braid them together like hair. Once you've got a full braid, hang it from a hook in your kitchen, ideally near the stove where there's good airflow but no direct heat. This method keeps each bulb dry, protected, and within easy reach while cooking. Amish families use this hack because they love practical solutions that don't waste space or spoil food. Braiding garlic isn't just decorative. It actually improves airflow around each clove, preventing mould and extending shelf life by months. Plus, it gives the kitchen a cosy, farmhouse feel. No more digging through cabinets or dealing with soft, mouldy cloves. Just quick access and long-lasting flavour. Once you try hanging garlic in braids, you'll wonder why you ever stored it any other way. And there you have it. 30 powerful Amish cooking secrets that most grocery stores don't want you to know. These aren't just old-fashioned tricks. They're time-tested, budget-friendly solutions that can save you money, reduce waste, and bring more flavour into your kitchen. From keeping brown sugar soft with bread to sharpening blender blades with a penny, each hack proves that sometimes the simplest ideas make the biggest difference. Whether you're looking to stretch your food budget, eat more naturally, or just get smarter about storage. These Amish-inspired tips offer real-life value. So if you found even one useful tip, hit that like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more clever hacks straight from Tradition's playbook.